There was MJ, there was Kobe, and now there is Anthony Edwards. This is how it works. The NBA has officially welcomed a superstar, and the Timberwolves are playing like crazy right now. Once dismissed and undervalued, the Minnesota Timberwolves have become a formidable force in the 2023-24 postseason. And all of this is due to the outstanding performances of the Big Three: Rudy Gobert, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Anthony Edwards. The Big Cat, on the other hand, disputes that there's a Big Three, but rather a Big 15, and emphasizes how talented each member of the roster is, and how they all contribute to the team's success. It's odd to consider that the team, for the better part of the last 30 years, has been the NBA's laughingstock, is now winning most of the time, even when they're not playing their best. So in this video, we're going to be talking about why you should be scared of the Timberwolves. Behind every great team is a mastermind pulling the strings. And for the Timberwolves, that man is Coach Chris Finch. With an acute sense of strategy, a profound comprehension of the game, and an ability to inspire his players to give their best effort, Coach Finch has made the Timberwolves into a well-tuned machine that runs with accuracy and purpose. The team's success and the winning mindset that propels them to triumph have been greatly influenced by his leadership and direction. Over the season, the Timberwolves have dispelled critics and exceeded expectations thanks to a team that is led by a dynamic mix of young talent and seasoned veterans. Every player has an intense desire to win, which motivates them to go past their comfort zones and aim for excellence. Anthony Edwards and Karl-Anthony Towns are a powerful combination that is the foundation of the Timberwolves' success. Edwards is a young player with explosive scoring talent, and Towns is a powerful force in the paint with unequaled mobility. Together, they create a deadly combination that makes opponents terrified. In the opening round of the Western Conference playoffs, the Minnesota Timberwolves dominated the Phoenix Suns 4-0, giving their supporters a taste of playoff joy for the first time in 20 years. It was the first sweep in the 35-year history of the team, as well as the first series victory since Kevin Garnett wrapped trees around his waist back in 2004. While Edwards has showcased his ability to be a number one option all season and into the playoffs, it's been the stifling defense and added involvement of Rudy Gobert that has elevated Minnesota to new heights this year. Due to the player-centric nature of the NBA playoffs, where Gobert's rim protection is less of a threat and has even appeared to be a liability in previous postseasons, he has seemingly never received respect from his peers as a true defensive force, despite having won 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards and probably winning a 4th soon. Following the Game 4 victory last weekend, fans unloaded the bookmarks folder, which must have felt nice to do. Fans kept an astonishingly small number of receipts in the days preceding Round 1. It was amazing to watch members of the national media and avid NBA fans scoff at the Timberwolves' chance of making the playoffs. Even while Wolves supporters have had faith in the team throughout the season and didn't require a playoff proof of concept as much as members of the national media did, it had to be comforting to witness an historically great defense hold its ground in the postseason. And beyond that, to see Edwards leap onto the floor as a playoff apex predator, and then have media members, fans, and everyone in between all over social media crown him as a future face of the league and seriously compare him to Michael Jordan, was something that will stick with us for a long time. 30% of fans thought the same thing. Ant hopes that Round 1 was just the beginning, even though he was amazing. There's no denying that the way the Wolves destroyed the Suns gave this fan base confidence. The Timberwolves defense not only performed admirable in containing the explosive Suns offense, but they also had the best defensive rating, 123.2, of any team in Round 1 by almost 4 points. With an average of 31 points on 51.2, 43.8, and 83.9 shooting splits, 8 rebounds, 6.3 assists, and 2.8 stocks per game, Edwards was superb. However, Towns contributed 19.3 points, 9.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and 52.9, 52.9, and 88.9 shooting splits per game. He also recorded his highest assist-to-turnover ratio, 1.43, and 3-point percentage, 34.7% of his total shots of his postseason career. You're cooking with some significant gas on that end of the court when you factor in the combined 31.6 points per game from Gobert, Jaden McDaniels, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, as well as the third most bench points of any team in Round 1, 27. After Edwards infamously made a comparison between his teammate Jaden McDaniels and 14-time All-Star Kevin Durant in the same sentence last season, the player became the target of memes. Edwards said, "They got KD, but we've got Jaden McDaniels." There was an out-of-context clip in the video Edwards refuted claims that McDaniels could match Durant shot for shot. Instead, he meant McDaniels as a formidable defender to take on Durant, who he considers to be his all-time favorite player. However, McDaniels lived up to the unwarranted anticipation in Game 2 of the Timberwolves vs. Suns series. McDaniels led all scorers with 25 points on 10 of 17 shooting, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists. He scored a career high for points in the playoffs, finishing just 1 point shy of his regular season total. Following that, supporters readily accepted Edwards' apology to KD. Now that the T-Wolves have swept the Suns, it is evident how much McDaniels has contributed outside of the stat sheet. And despite all of this, Minnesota's most recent acquisition might have made the most impact. 28-year-old point guard Monte Morris may play a major role in the team's postseason success. He was brought in to relieve seasoned point guard Mike Conley Jr. of part of his workload. Morris possesses playoff experience, which is something that cannot be taught. He not only has the experience of having been there, but he also has the playoff stats to prove it. Morris is averaging 12.8 points and 4.8 assists per game in his last 4 playoff series. Just 0.6 turnovers per game throughout the playoffs correspond with all of the previously mentioned contributions. Conley Jr.'s aging body may not be able to withstand the prolonged playing time that postseason basketball may require. Morris was added to lighten that burden. In his limited tenure with the Timberwolves, Morris has blended in flawlessly with the second unit thus far. He's fit right in playing alongside the starters as well. Morris's function is Conley Jr.'s virtual extension. Although he doesn't have an excessive amount of ball control, he manages an effective offense, assists teammates without giving the ball away, and can score a crucial basket or two when it matters most. The offense, fueled by Edwards' ascension to mega stardom and Towns following a successful blueprint, to me is why fans are so optimistic about the Wolves' chance of knocking off the defending champion Nuggets in round 2. Which thus far, after just 2 games, has been a proper thrashing of the defending champs. The Wolves are not limited to just one script. They can win in many different ways. Their defense is what will allow them to win. Maybe with Karl-Anthony Towns or Edwards taking over, or when their supplementary players assume the lead like Naz Reid. They are a complete team because of their versatility. When backups like Reid and Nickeil Alexander-Walker enter the game, there isn't any noticeable decline. In a protracted playoff series, depth counts. I adore the collective basketball intelligence of Timberwolves fans. They give the Nuggets respect. They are aware of how challenging it will be to defeat the Nuggets, who are among the best clutch teams in recent history. Denver puts you to the test for 48 minutes. And if you falter even for a moment, 2-time MVP Nikola Jokic will crush you. Fans understand that. Yet, they also acknowledge that the Wolves already possess everything required to triumph, as we've seen so far. The 7 to 8 entries that received the largest percentage, 46% of the vote, represent this intermediate position, which is honoring the Nuggets while retaining a realistic level of faith in the Timberwolves. The 9 to 10 legion probably leans more in the opposite direction, saying things like, let's see the Nuggets stop scoring against this elite defense and find a way to stop Anthony Edwards. While the 4 to 6 crowd is probably more inclined towards, I'll truly believe the Wolves can win a title if they beat the Nuggets, which is likely. Which group turns out to be correct will be revealed over time. We will soon find out. And that concludes our video on why you should be scared of the Minnesota Timberwolves. These guys are straight hooping, and if I were you, I would be scared to play them. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay tuned for more amazing content. And don't forget to share your opinions about the Timberwolves in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.